Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. And this is a dreadful rack. I will almost certainly be changing here. Truly awful, 2 V's and a U. And I will be changing all 7. Unless something amazing comes to mind, which isn't obvious to me at the moment. But I can't see how any play from this rack would leave a decent rack leave. And I'm not seeing any scoring potential. Having said all that, what about V though? That sorts out all the duplicates. The rack leave would be B-I-B-O-U, which isn't the worst rack leave in the world, so maybe I should do that. Rank takes nothing after it. So I can get 14 points, and this rack leave is worth more than minus 14, so unnecessary drama at the start there. This is the play, I think. And this also looks pretty grim with W, but I have unbox on my rack, and I would have unboxed onto a D. Are there any good X spots? Well, I could play XO in column 9, but I really would like to play off one of the U's. So is there a way of doing that apart from unbox? And I note that unbox, well, I was going to say plays through the N of rank. That's been taken, but a better spot has been made available. So unbox for 32. Can I do better than this? Any other hot X spots? What about row H onto this R? Let me just momentarily put this back. So row H. No, I'm not seeing anything there. I have buxom in row J. That doesn't score as much. No, I'm not seeing anywhere else for this play. Unbox for 32. That looks a little better, slightly vowel heavy, but there could be a bingo here. I'm not immediately seeing a 7, but I haven't given up on there being one. What about an 8? And the B looks quite handy. I'm just wondering about Suberine, but that doesn't feel completely good. I have universe in row D, stopping 1 square short of the double word square, and I don't think that has an anagram. Well, I'm just wondering if Vaniers is good, which would be an anagram. Let me just check that, because it would be a better play. No, so I think it is just universe. That's still available. However, is there a 7 with this rack? Certainly very high probability. I'm not seeing anything beginning with un or uni. What else might it look like? And are there any other lanes I've overlooked? What about row H beginning with an E? No. So, is universe the only bingo available? What about a play beginning OB? Not seeing anything there. WO not promising. Not seeing anything with the X. I'm going with this. Universe for 74. And that's an awful pickup. 6 vowels. Really unbalanced. I do, however, have a lead. So, wow. just 32. That's actually quite a decent score. Just 2 tiles though. What would sort this rack out? Well, I could play Iota, but that takes B and D in front. Is there a way of hanging on to the T? And should I be changing? Well, what about playing Otia? That takes out a hotspot, scores 20 points. 2 vowels is a lot better than 3. I am going with this. Well, still slightly vowel heavy, but I have a scoring tile in the Y. And I have the S for universe. Nice bingo for opponent and a big score. That's a double-double. So what do I have? Do I have a way of getting the Y doubled and the S on the end of universe? Don't think I do. Anywhere else good for the Y? I don't have a T for going in front of YO. So what about a play in column 12 with the Y but not getting it doubled? Well, I guess the best I can see is Loy's, and that's 40 points, which is a big score. Pretty awful rack leave. But it's a lot of points, so should I be going with this? Let me just put this back, because my Y can go next to the N. I think I'm going to be stuck with vowels, whatever I do. But a play of oily would leave a much better rack leave. So is there anywhere to play that? There's another Y spot underneath the N. And that's only 17 points compared to 40 points with Loy's. I think I'm going with Loy's. If I draw all consonants, I could have a bingo-y rack. Loy's for 40. Well, I don't draw all consonants. And I trail by 4 points. What to do here? 29 for opponent, so we're pretty close, and I'm on turn. And I'm looking to play off 3 vowels here, something like Ilia. Or Arlii, is there a place for that? That would be quite nice, leaving just OS. Well, there is. There are 1 S and 1 blank to come. So I could play it here for 14 points. And I do have the S for row O. It's not in last place, so it's not super fantastic for opponent. Arlii takes nothing else apart from an S. And there are quite a lot of hot spots all over the board, like row H, row A, column 8. I'm slightly concerned about the score here. I could play in row 9, but that then is sticking an I next to this double letter square, which definitely is unnecessarily hot. Maybe a play of AIA would be better. So that's 14. That's 20. And this rack leave is okay. So anywhere better for AIA? I don't think so. I'm going with this. Great, I have loonies on my rack. Does that play anywhere? Yes, it does. Column 9. And that stays available. But look at this, 57 points for opponent. So all I'm going to be doing is catching him. And if I play loonies in column 9, it takes a T and there are 4 T's to come, so maybe I can find something better. But what? Does loonies have an anagram? Oilstone is the anagram of looniest. That doesn't quite work with the T of otia. What other floaters are available? Well, I'm not seeing any alternatives to loonies. Yeah, this is the spot I saw it in. This could be an expensive blunder, if there is somewhere else. But opponent is not guaranteed a huge score with a T, unless he's got a bingo. These are just 1 point tiles, so loonies for 70. Well, having had the glut of vowels at the beginning of the game, not surprising to see consonants. I'm grateful to have 1 vowel. And I've got an H for going next to this T in row H. Wow, 50 points for opponent. I trail by 50. Just 19 tiles to come, including the blank. I'm not sure I do have a TH play, which is a shame. What about a play at the bottom? I could play THE. Wow, opponent did have the T, but obviously could score more playing parallel to looniest than in row O. I can hang on to my E by playing Lav for 21, but this isn't a good 5-letter set. So can I do better? 10 minutes on my clock. And since I'm behind, I'd like to keep the board open. What about getting my T next to WO? Wow, so close, because I could have a play ending RT. This just doesn't work. I could play thread through the A, but that's for absolutely nothing. What to do here? This is tricky. Let me see what the looks like. 34 points, but horrible, horrible rack leave. 9 minutes on my clock. So, what about thread? It scores 22 points. The rack leave is good. I'm not blocking floaters. And I'm not creating anything massively hot. I'm slightly concerned that this word doesn't exist. Let's find out. And it does. Fantastic. And wow, I draw a ton of vowels, which I wasn't expecting. Let me check the remaining vowels. 7 out of 22, so this isn't a troublesome surfeit. I trail by 30, opponent on turn. Now I could play Thrae, Thrae, and that stays available. Opponent is extinguishing floaters, so good time to create some more. Thrae for 36, decent rack leave. What if opponent just plays parallel to that next turn? Well, he could do. But then there would be options for 9-letter plays. And I may catch opponent anyway without needing a bingo. So, can I do better than this? I'm burning the R. There are no R's or N's left. Is there a way of playing off the N rather than the R? Well, I could play Thane. That would place a vowel next to a double letter square, so opponent could get a big score. N and R aren't massively apart in terms of worth. I am going with this. Well, I draw the J. Is there anywhere hot for it? Wow. Just looking in column 3 to see if I had a JA something T play, and I don't. What about a play in row A? No. I do have Jag and Gob, but it would be nice to score with the J. I guess I've got it. I've got a play in column 14, Gene. That keeps double G. Wow, that's pretty brutal. Opponent has the second blank. Plays crumbles for 84, and I think that is my game over. Just one tile in the bag. And I trail by about 100. 7 minutes on my clock. One tile in the bag. What to do here? I think it is just a matter of minimizing the losing spread. Maybe I should play Jag to maximize my chances of going out. Where else can the J play? I'm not seeing anywhere great for it. I can play Jet for 26. 9 more points. Can I score more? And I could retain the J if I could play off a lot of other tiles, and I'm not sure I can. Wow, close to jetting. So that's Jag for 17. I feel there could be something a lot better than this. It just hasn't come to mind. I do have 5 minutes. Let me have a further look. Do I have something through WO? Don't think so. JAS not good. I can't get the J to score twice. Well, this is a lot better. Look at this, 25 points. £31 points, keeping GNT. Just one tile in the bag. There are vowels on the board. £35 points. And 2 consonants a lot better than 1. And I don't think opponent can score massively in column 1 with this J. Let's find out. I draw the W, so I've got went in column 15 and row M. And I've also got it in column 2, so I can go out with this rack. And look at this, fantastic pick for opponent. Close to a further bingo. But I don't think he has one through the E. And that is the only available floater. Just looking to see if he has etiolate in column 3, but that doesn't fit. So where is my best want spot? I think it's up here. Opponent's got AEI, so probably not going out in 1. I could play Lawn for 21. So this is 14 points. I think this is better than playing Lawn. But is there a better score for playing WNT? 4 minutes on my clock. Went definitely a lower score. No, I'm not seeing anything better, I'm going with this. And the final score, 384 for me, 451 for my opponent, a winning margin of 67 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first, pretty horrendous rack, plays Rank. And this is my horror show, and I play Vivo, and I think that looks best. Opponent plays Gram, and I play Unbox for 32. Box and scores 4 more points in the same spot, near enough, but Rack Lever W definitely 4 points worse than EU, a lot more than 4 points worse. So I play Unbox. Opponent has the blank, plays O. And now I play Universe. I felt there were other bingos here, and there was one, I8 Neurines, but that's sticking an S in the middle of column 15, so Universe, better all round, better score, and better strategically. Opponent's rack plays Cheese, and now I have a slender lead, but a lot of vowels, and I play Otia for 21, which looks fine. Great bingo for opponent, who's got a ton of ones to choose from. Gets 86 for electing, could have got 94 by sticking an S on the end of Universe. So I now trail by 40. This is my rack. And I play Lois for 40. Oily F9. Gori L and Nye, that's quite nice. So 11 fewer points. Is AOS 11 points better than AIO? Yes, it is. AOS must be worth about +6. I would have thought an AIO, well, that could be worth as much as minus 10, so I think Oily definitely a better play. Whoops, let's go back and see opponent's rack. He plays Pure. I have a lot of vowels, and I play AIA for 20. That looks fine. And opponent's got a lot of consonants and a 13-point lead. But that soon increases with Phased. However, I have Loonies, and that's the only bingo. So at this stage, we're dead level, literally. But opponent is on turn with the blank. No bingo, but he does have a 50-point play. Now, L10. ETH, that's, well, it's a nice score, but horrible rack leave. So I play Thrid for 22, keeping EHR. Is EHR 17 points better than DHRR? I would say that's going to be close. I would say EHR must be worth about +5 or 6. DHRR, however, I would stick down in the minus 10. So I think there's about a 16-point difference, and we're only looking at a 17-point difference in score. So I think those moves are going to be close. Now, opponent's rack, no bingo. Plays Fed, and I play Thray for 36 to open the board up. I could have got 39 at L10 without opening the board up, and I'm just looking at column 14, which is a bingo lane, so Thray is obstructing that as a 7-letter lane. And there's very little difference between score and rack lead between these two plays, but I think Thray is the more open play, and I do trail, so I like that. But look at this. Great for opponent. Plays through the R. And I wonder if I played Thane, whether he would have had a bingo through one of those tiles. I'm not sure. Anyway, that ended the game for me. I'm 100 points behind with one tile in the bag. So I play Jagger for 35 after a lot of fussing around. And opponent's last rat, no bingo, plays Dolt. And I have Want for 14. So, absolutely cracking game. We were very close, absolutely level at one point, and right towards the end, opponent had the last blank and was able to get a bingo down to secure the victory. So, well done to my opponent for a good battle and a good victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.